everyone. My name is Donna Kelly-Williams, and as you know, I am the very proud president of the Massachusetts Nurses Association. It is my pleasure to welcome you here to MNA's annual award celebration, our annual celebration of excellence in our profession. During this current pandemic, we are unable to gather together to celebrate these remarkable and deserving awardees in person, but we are grateful for the opportunity to celebrate them in this way and to show our appreciation for their work. I want to thank the Awards Committee for their work and creativity in making this happen. Thank you all for being a part of this celebration and joining us in acknowledging the work of these award winners. It is now my honor and privilege to stand among them this year. And so it is with my great pleasure to introduce the dedicated chairperson of the Awards Committee, who is the real host of this event. Please welcome Susan Wright-Thomas, who will guide us through celebrating the 2020 Mna awardees. Susan?
Thank you, Donna. In the midst of a global pandemic and social unrest, the Mna Awards Committee remained committed to maintaining our traditions and to celebrate the remarkable work of our members and allies. And so we got creative, and we recognized the 2020 award winners in a different fashion this year. Thank you for joining us and helping us to recognize these individuals who have dedicated themselves to improving the world for patients, nurses, healthcare providers, and workers across all specialties. I am pleased to be with you to salute our honorees today. Eileen Norton is a joyful crusader for the rights of workers to fair and just treatment, safe environments, and the protection of collective action. Last year, we presented our new Labor Activist Award to Eileen. This year, we present for the first time the Eileen Norton Labor Activist Award to an individual or group that exemplifies Eileen's spirit and promotes and advances the ideals of labor. I now welcome Donna Kelly-Williams to present the award to Barbara Mataloni.
Barbara Mataloni is the past president of the Massachusetts Teachers Association and current coordinator of education for Labor Notes. She has been a labor activist for many years. Barbara works in solidarity with educators and the labor movement as a whole, inspiring and strengthening us all. Barbara exemplifies the spirit of Mna leader and role model, Eileen Norton, and is a labor leader in the truest sense. She is uniquely effective as a labor leader whose vision, actions, and speech are carrying us all forward towards the future we all need. The Massachusetts Nurses Association is grateful for her dedication and her contributions to the labor movement and is pleased to present the first Eileen Norton Labor Activist Award to our good friend, Barbara Mataloni. Barbara?
So thank you, Donna. Thank you, Eileen, for being here. As Donna indicated, I hate awards, but actually, when I learned about this one, and in particular that it was the first Eileen Norton Award, it just felt really right. Because, you know, what I don't like about awards is that they suggest that it's about individuals. And the reason this award feels so right is that I feel such a profound sense of solidarity with the Mass Nurses Association, with the work that we were able to do together, that we continue to do together, really like a deep sense of sisterhood and brotherhood and siblinghood. And so I'm really moved and really grateful. These are incredibly hard times. And like to be able to be, it is allergies, I promise. To be able to be here with you all in this moment when we have so much work to do just reminds me that like this is the hope. which is that we keep organizing workers, and workers organize themselves, and we keep fighting for justice. And that's what we live, that's what we do. And I'm like really moved after 6.5 months of being apart from people, that this is one of the moments when I get to be with people that I love and love to do the work with. So thank you on all of those levels. And thank you, Eileen, for being the person for whom this award is named, and shown all of us the way in doing that. So thank you.
The Mna Excellence in Nursing Practice Award recognizes a member who demonstrates an outstanding performance in nursing practice. This award publicly acknowledges the essential contributions that nurses across all practice settings make to the health of our society. This year, we have 2 deserving recipients. Marla Massey-Purcello is a clinical nurse leader in the cardiothoracic unit at Tufts Medical Center and approaches her position with empathy, compassion, and dedication. She serves as a mentor and resource to new graduates and experienced staff alike. Her strength, humor, and perseverance were a constant resource to those challenged by the global COVID pandemic and a flood in the ICU, necessitating the relocation of patients and staff to unfamiliar units. Her consistent leadership and accessibility as a resource supported patients and staff through a difficult period. It is with gratitude that the Massachusetts Nurses Association acknowledges the contributions that Marla has made to patients, her fellow nurses, and the profession. We are pleased to present the Mna Excellence in Nursing Practice Award to Marla Massey-Purcello, RN.
Well, I want to thank the MNA for not only everything they've done for me in my career, but for this amazing award. I am truly humbled. I think one of the biggest honors that you can possibly have is being nominated by one of your coworkers. And I was nominated by one of my coworkers who I work very often with, and it warms my heart. I have had the honor of also working with some of the best nurses I've ever been in contact with at Tufts Medical Center, and I credit any of my nursing to the nurses that have worked with me and before me, and I'm speechless. So I'd like to thank Patty O'Brien for nominating me, and I'd like to thank the Massachusetts Nurses Association for presenting me with this award.
Allison Sarnowski is a skillful labor and delivery nurse at the Cambridge Hospital, contributing to unit-based activities and public initiatives that support direct patient care. Allison keeps abreast of policy changes and best practice, carefully evaluating standards and care trends. She uses her knowledge and experience to pose insightful questions for management and colleagues alike to serve as a change agent. Of particular note, she supported and led her colleagues by example when nurses in the maternal child health service needed to work with the Massachusetts Department of Public Health to assure safe staffing, practice changes, and challenge ineffective management during an uncertain time on that unit. Her credibility and firm determination established her as a true nurse leader. The Massachusetts Nurses Association acknowledges Allison's outstanding contributions to patient care and nursing practice and is pleased to present the Mna Excellence in Nursing Practice Award to Allison Sarnowski, RN.
Thank you so much for this award. Thank you to the MNA and to Susan for all your support. I have the honor to work alongside many amazing nurses who could easily be standing here in this position, and I wouldn't be the nurse I am today without them, so it feels a little strange to be singled out. 2020 has been named the Year of the Nurse and Midwife in honor of the 200th birthday of Florence Nightingale. The World Health Organization gave this designation to celebrate the work of nurses and midwives, highlight the challenges they often face, and advocate for increasing investments in the nursing and midwifery workforce, which sounds very familiar. What a year they chose. Thrust into a global pandemic mere weeks after the start of this year of celebration, nurses worked amongst constantly changing protocols and often inadequate PPE. We were called heroes, but we were scared. We were also faced with yet another indicator that our healthcare system is plagued by systemic racism as we watched our neighbors of color be disproportionately affected by this new virus. It didn't feel like there was much to celebrate. I am a good nurse. I love my job and my coworkers and my patients. I don't think there is a much bigger professional gift than to support a woman as she brings new life into the world. But it is not lost on me that if my patient is a Black woman, she is 2.5 more times likely to die in my care than a white woman. I am a good nurse. But as we close out the Year of the Nurse, I hope that we can all take an opportunity to reflect on our practice and our role in the larger healthcare system in the U.S. I hope that we work to affect change on our units, in our union, in our hospitals, and our local and state and national governments. That we don't just aim to get by during this pandemic, but rather use our collective power to call out the injustices within our system, and that we work to use our collective power to bring about good change. Thank you.
The Human Needs Services Award recognizes an individual or group who has performed outstanding service based on human need with respect for human dignity, unrestricted by consideration of nationality, race, creed, color, or status. This year's recipient is Judith Laguerre. Judith Laguerre works on the Geriatric Psychiatry Unit at the Cambridge Health Alliance's Everett site. When staff on the unit were told they did not need N95 masks during the escalation of COVID-19, Judith understood that the hospital-supplied PPE was inadequate. She strenuously advocated for protection for staff and patients they were serving, yet continued to work and take care of patients under extremely difficult circumstances. She recognized the intensifying risk to the patient population, a marginalized group challenged to access adequate health care. Judith became ill with COVID, endured a frightening illness, and continues to experience and manage lingering sequelae of her infection with the virus she fought as a nurse and a patient. Judith has shared her personal story in public testimony, risking negative consequences and experiencing a dismissive response from the management to illuminate the risks taken by staff. She is an exemplar of the realization of the opportunity to effect significant change in the human condition. The Massachusetts Nurses Association applauds her work and is grateful for her selfless dedication to healthcare. We honor her accomplishments and present the Human Needs Services Award to Judith Laguerre, RN.
Thank you very much for your kind words. Please allow me to express my sincere appreciation and delight to have been nominated and selected to receive the MNA Human Needs Service Award. A special thank you to the MNA and the award committee. To my nominator, thank you for thinking of me. Thank you for your confidence in me. And to all of you here present, and to you, my cousin Linda, thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. I was so excited and overjoyed reading the congratulatory letter on being selected to receive this award. I am so grateful and appreciative. I feel so honored to belong to that lineage of recipients of this award. I also would like to send a shout out to my teammates, Team CHA, Team BMC, Team Children's Hospital. I share this with you all. 2020, what a year. COVID is here, and this is the new normal. This week should be our convention where we would meet together and do the business of Mna, but that's not what's going on. But COVID also is shining a light on the disparity and inequity in our healthcare system, as well as some enduring structural, social, economic problems that are crying out for correction and resolution. We are also witnessing that division in our nation. Most of this is the result of inaction in the face of unmet needs. However, we are also seeing opportunities created, a momentum to be harnessed. Voices are needed to be raised. Helping hands are needed to be lended. Conscience needs to be awakened. And involvement in making a difference that brings positive change in other human beings is important. I like that quote from JFK. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. I am often asked, why do I get involved, and what do I get out of it? My answers are that simple. I am a humanist, and human service is my religion. Involved in making a difference in one person's life gives my life purpose. And this is the reason of my journey. One word that is my mantra is empowerment. Empowering someone is believing and respecting their humanity. And what I get in return? Just inner fulfillment that I am doing my part. This awards means a lot to me. It tells me that I am on the right path. I hope to continue my journey in making a difference, in making a positive impact with renewed commitment and dedication. I have prepared a special place at home to proudly display this award. With my heart full of gratitude, respect, I am pleased to accept this award. Thank you very much.
The image of the Professional Nurse Award recognizes a member who has demonstrated outstanding leadership in enhancing the image of the professional nurse in the community. This year's recipient is Samantha Joseph Erskine. Samantha Joseph Erskine is a true advocate for nurses and patients in all arenas. Samantha Joseph Erskine is a true advocate for nurses and patients in all arenas. Samantha has been instrumental in the success of her bargaining unit at St. Luke's Hospital in New Bedford. She has been an active organizer and serves on the negotiating team for their first contract. She has been an organizer and leader of public demonstrations in respectful and authoritative recognition of the contributions of frontline workers in the COVID-19 pandemic and the Black Lives Matter movement. Samantha has been a driving force at St. Luke's and on the Mna Board of Directors, the Safe Care Campaign, Mna 2025, and now in the revitalization of the Mna Diversity Committee. The Massachusetts Nurses Association is proud of her accomplishments and contributions and is pleased to present the Mna Image of the Professional Nurse Award to Samantha Joseph Erskine.
I am honored to be nominated for and awarded with the Professional Image Award. As a fairly new member of the association, I am humbled by the opportunities that I have been granted to exercise my voice and make a difference in my profession, my bargaining unit, and in the M&A. I have been honored to be able to represent the members of my bargaining unit as we organize for the right to have a collective voice, fighting for the right to have a say in our professional practice and create best practices for our patients. When our staff organizer, John Neal, told me that he believed I had something to offer the M&A by being on the board of directors, I was unsure if I wanted to. Not because I was afraid, but because I was unsure of what I would bring to the table. While others encouraged me and assured me that I would be great on the board and that as a new member, I would bring a fresh perspective, I remained skeptical. They assured me with the famous words, "It is only one meeting per month," and I would bring diversity to the board. While I went through the emotions of getting nominated and then being on the ballot, but honestly, my heart wasn't into it. I didn't expect to win. I kept expecting to have someone or something come up that would disqualify me. But at every step of the way, the barrier to saying yes kept moving out of the way. I won the election and decided to embrace the opportunity. I believe that everything happens for a reason. When I attended my first board meeting, I was anxious and scared to say the least, but I was received with open arms and warmth. The president, Donna Kelly, and many others offered to answer questions and support in any way they could. I was briefed on the proceedings of the meetings and provided with a full binder of policies and bylaws for my reading pleasures. I remembered after my first meeting, I looked around and didn't see anyone looking like me. I went home, and these are my exact words to my husband: "I am the token black girl on the board." He laughed and responded that I could be a token or let my voice be heard. His words would have played in my head these last few months. The COVID pandemic has challenged all of us personally and professionally. It has forced us to raise our voices to fight for our patients, professions, and ourselves. It has exposed health disparities that we all knew existed but never spoke about. As if that were not enough, the killing of George Floyd amplified and exposed deep-seated racism in the country and has forced us as nurses and healthcare providers to have uncomfortable conversations about race and racism within our profession, in our workplaces, and in our association. As a woman of color in the healthcare industry, I have faced racism. These are big issues that demanded bold conversations. It has been my honor to be on a board where we don't have token conversations. We have been able to hold bold and uncomfortable conversations where we make space to hear each other's points of view, where we can find empathy for each other's experiences and embrace the strength that comes from our differences. I am humbled by the many opportunities that I, a girl from the small island of St. Lucia in the Caribbean, have had to let my voice be heard and make a difference in my bargaining unit, on the M&A board, and in this great association that represents over 23,000 other nurses and healthcare professionals. I was not expecting this nomination or the award, but I am humbled and honored to receive it. I will continue to learn and continue the important work toward racial and social equity. I am asking all our nurses to become active and let your voice be heard. Find your issue, find your passion, raise your voice. I want to say thanks to my husband, Joe Erskine, for his continued support in all I do. My son, Jolie Alexander, my motivation for making a difference. My colleagues, St. Luke's United, and each and every one on the board of directors of the M&A and the award committee for awarding me with this recognition. You all give me a reason to be bold and to strive to be better. I thank you.
The M&A Bargaining Unit Rookie of the Year Award was established in 2008 and recognizes a labor relations program member who has been a member of the bargaining unit for 5 or less years and has made a significant contribution to the professional, economic, and general welfare of nursing and a unified bargaining unit. This year, we have 2 rising stars. I invite Marie Rattacco to present the first of these awards to Jillian Brailsford, RN.
Jillian Brailsford is an effective problem solver and professional role model for nurses and collaborating staff, making it difficult to consider Jillian a rookie. She has been instrumental in mobilizing the Cambridge nurses to work for appropriate PPE, presumption of occupational exposure, and hazard pay within the MNA's movement to respond to nurses' concerns related to the COVID-19 pandemic. When the nurses on her unit were directed by management to reuse dirty isolation gowns, Jillian was concerned that adequate protection would not be available. She experimented to find available alternatives to gowns and organized an action that featured the nurses wearing trash bags as PPE. Jillian prioritized the safety of the nurses and support staff, despite being immediately threatened with discipline. Her involvement in a related press conference helped to secure a meeting with the hospital CEO and elected officials. The result was the promised involvement of nurses in the process of managing PPE and attention to the under-resourced and struggling public system. The Massachusetts Nurses Association is grateful for her contributions and is proud to present the MNA Bargaining Unit Rookie of the Year Award to Jillian Brailsford, RN.
This award is a great honor, and it belongs to all of my coworkers on 4 West, no matter your role on the team. It also belongs to every nurse who has advocated for the safety of their patients or their coworkers since the pandemic began. I want to say never, ever be afraid to say what you know is true or do what you know is right, because you have the support of a very strong union behind you, and they are there for you. And this union will always be there for you as long as we all do our part to keep it strong. Thank you.
It is now my privilege to recognize Autumn St. Hilaire. Autumn consistently contributes to a strong and unified bargaining unit at the Cambridge Hospital, where she works on a medical surgical floor that is designated as the hospital's primarily COVID-19 unit. Early in the pandemic, she collaborated with her colleagues to produce a video demonstrating the correct donning and doffing process and highlighting the concerns with inappropriate and ineffective PPE. Posted on Facebook for broad access by bargaining unit staff, this was an effective tool that was also viewed by legislative allies to help communicate the very real concerns and risks for nurses. Autumn remains steadfast in her conviction for patient and staff safety, despite risk of discipline by supervisory staff. She spoke eloquently at a press conference that illuminated the risks and dangers to both staff and patients by CHA's failure to protect from COVID-19 and to provide adequate PPE. Autumn planned and executed the first incredibly moving discharge parade for a patient who survived intubation and a lengthy hospitalization with COVID-19, inspiring the hospital leadership to formalize this ritual. The Massachusetts Nurses Association recognizes Autumn's contribution to a strong and unified unit and is pleased to present the MNA Bargaining Unit Rookie of the Year Award to Autumn St. Hilaire.
Thank you for your kind words, Susan. I'm truly so grateful to have been selected to receive this award, and I want to say thank you to all of the amazing nurses and advocates that I've had the pleasure of working with over the past 6 months, those who stood shoulder to shoulder with me and made the predicament that we were in a little bit more bearable. The World Health Organization designated the year 2020 as the year of the nurse and midwife. but this certainly isn't what we had in mind. But despite not being able to celebrate the way that we would have hoped to, I'm so inspired by the compelling stories of nurses and their dedication to provide hope, health, and healing to everyone in our communities. One thing that I realized through this time is that fighting for the rights of nurses and fighting to improve patient outcomes really are not two separate conversations. They are really closely intertwined. Worker safety is patient safety. This is a conversation we need to continue to have and one that I'm proud to partake in. Thank you.
Elaine Cooney was a nurse who passionately believed in both the central importance of the nurse in healthcare and the role of collective bargaining in protecting the interests of nurses and patients. When Elaine was hired into a staff position at the MNA, she became one of the first RNs in Massachusetts to negotiate contracts on behalf of RNs. The Massachusetts Nurses Association proudly remembers Elaine Cooney and her dedication to our members and profession by recognizing members who carry on her essential and valued work. This award recognizes a labor relations program member who has made a significant contribution to the professional, economic, and general welfare of nursing. This year's recipient is Evelyn Crotty. Evelyn Crotty has been a strong supporter of the Labor Relations Program and her bargaining unit at the Cambridge Hospital for over her entire career. She is a meticulous researcher who scours the collective bargaining agreement, the law, and regulations to find supporting information when a member's rights are threatened. She is not afraid to confront management in any forum, including staff meetings and in the CEO's office. An impeccable practitioner, Evelyn remains current in evidence-based practice and puts particular effort into coaching colleagues as policies and standards evolve. Evelyn has served faithfully and ably on the Maternity Service Professional Practice Committee, focused on patient care and improving outcomes. During the COVID-19 pandemic, when she was unable to engage in direct patient contact, Evelyn continued to support her colleagues with daily check-ins, providing information and support related to testing, PPE, leave policies, and maintaining worker rights on the job. Evelyn is tenacious when tackling a problem and is considered a tireless and fervent nurse advocate. The Massachusetts Nurses Association relies on Evelyn's contributions to patient care and staff nurse advocacy and is pleased to present the Elaine Cooney Labor Relations Award to Evelyn Crotty, RN.
Hi, it's a privilege to be here tonight at the MNA office and to receive this award. I feel so blessed and honored to receive an award from the MNA, and especially a Labor Relations Award. I work at the Cambridge Hospital, and I am passionate. I really am passionate about the safety of patients and the nurses in our hospital. And I got involved with the union because I saw the union making things happen, making patients safe, making nurses safe. And I saw this can really happen. People can be, the union is there to provide safety for patients and staff. And I got very involved, and it's a privilege to be working with the MNA and the staff and issues that come up in the hospital. With COVID-19, there were times, and this all started, we were told we couldn't wear masks. Lots of things happened. The union organized, we got things together, we met every week, and I truly believe it made a huge difference in the life of the patients and the staff at the hospital. We all know nurses really, really, truly care about the patients and keeping the patients safe. And if you work for the nurses and with the nurses, the patients are going to be safe. And that's the bottom line for me. I tell everybody I know, if you're going to go to a hospital, make sure that they have a union at that hospital, MNA union, because you will be safer there because the nurses there have support to do what's the right thing for the patients and for the staff involved. And I am, in my lifetime, I'm 65 years old. I'm getting ready to retire. One of the best things I've done in my life is be involved with this MNA and the work that they do for the nurses and the patients and staff in hospitals. And thank you. Thank you so much for this award. I'm honored. I had no idea about this award at all. And I'm really honored. And especially to receive it during COVID-19 when I was out at COVID-19, I couldn't work for like 4 months. I called the units, and I really felt connected. I felt blessed that I was able to connect with the nurses, even though I wasn't physically there, and help make a difference in their lives through the union, only because of the union. Anyway, thank you all so very much, and thank you.
As past president of the Massachusetts Nurses Association, Judith SHINDUL-ROTHSCHILD, PhD, RN, PC, was instrumental in the creation of today's MNA. Dr. Rothschild is an advocate for nurses and the labor movement. She is recognized nationally as a voice for nurses working at the bedside. Her research interests include staffing and quality of care, and licensure and discipline of registered nurses. The Judith SHINDUL-ROTHSCHILD Award recognizes an MNA member who speaks with a strong voice for the nursing community at the state and/or national level. This year's recipient is Donna Kelly-Williams. Donna Kelly-Williams is a true model of leadership. Her tremendous grace, warmth, intelligence, and commitment and courage are unparalleled. She has given decades of authentic leadership to the MNA and to patients and healthcare providers of our Commonwealth. Before her term as president of the MNA, Donna served as chair of her bargaining unit at the Cambridge Hospital, representing nurses during investigations, disciplinary hearings, grievances, in regular labor management sessions, and at the negotiating table. She has always been a respected leader whose reasoning and persuasive power could often affect even management's opinions and decisions. She has continuously been focused on solutions to problems. Donna has championed a multitude of issues over her years of commitment to the MNA membership and the patients we serve, including safe staffing, universal single-payer health care coverage, checks on the power of profit-driven health care, the rights of nurses to a secure retirement, the rights of all workers to union protection, the rights of all people to adequate housing, education, and social justice. Donna has spoken locally, nationally, and internationally on these and many issues, representing MNA and her colleagues both ably and convincingly. Donna has made innumerable contributions to the welfare of nurses, healthcare professionals, patients, and their families. She has forever left her mark on the landscape of this Commonwealth, and we are better for it. It is with great pleasure that the Massachusetts Nurses Association recognizes Donna's years of service, contributions, and dedication, and we are pleased to present the MNA Judith SHINDUL-ROTHSCHILD Award to Donna Kelly-Williams, RN. And now, to bring her own words of greeting, it is my privilege to present Dr. Judith SHINDUL-ROTHSCHILD.
Donna, it is with great admiration that MNA honors you today with the Judith SHINDUL-ROTHSCHILD Award in recognition of your steadfast leadership of the MNA as president over the past 11 years. Your service to the MNA for over a decade is historic, and so too are the advances you spearheaded that will endure for decades to come. As president, you always met challenges with a tenacious spirit and steadfast commitment to employ each and every union or legislative remedy available to protect nurses and patients. Through it all, you conducted yourself with professionalism, clarity, good humor, and a genuine appreciation for the hard work by MNA members and staff in all corners of the state. Your leadership skill earned you deep respect among MNA members, legislators, and the public at large. It was my honor to join you to celebrate perhaps your greatest achievement, landmark legislation to protect nurses and patients from unsafe staffing in ICUs. My dear friend and colleague, best wishes for the next chapter in your life, and cheers for this well-deserved recognition of your leadership legacy.
Hello, everyone. I have had the privilege of being in many meetings and testified on panels with Dr. Judith Schindul-Rothschild and aspired to capture her ability to represent the profession of nursing and nursing practice with the very same integrity that she is revered, respected, and known for, including her impact on future nurses. For over 20 years, I have attended the Mna Awards dinner and felt such admiration for the recipients and their hard work and accomplishments. Over the years, I have also nominated several amazing people and honestly felt I would have done and completed my job as the elected president of the Massachusetts Nurses Association if I was ever nominated and qualified for the prestigious Dr. Judith Schindul-Rothschild Leadership Award, the highest honor of the MNA. I, like many before me, have been made eligible for this award through the mentorship, education, and guidance of many with expertise well beyond my training as a nurse at the bedside of patients. The support of the MNA membership and MNA staff made me strive to do better every day. I have been taught to debate, to be interviewed, to rally, and to negotiate, just to name a few of the crash courses. As I complete my final term as the MNA president next week, and I look forward to my retirement, I, like Judy, will not be too far to continue the work and the pride of the Massachusetts Nurses Association. I am honored and grateful for this award. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us to celebrate the 2020 Mna Awards. We would remember that for each of us recognized here, there are tens, hundreds, thousands of nurse heroes serving quietly every day to keep us safe, strong, and prepared to meet our future with confidence. Bless you all. To 2021 in Boston next year.